I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 142 of the Strap SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know the drill by now. Before we kick off the episode, please head over to Strap SZN Pod or Strap SZN Podcast. Those are our Twitter and Instagram pages. And in the bio of both of those pages, you'll see a link that will take you to where we are streaming-wise. So if you like audio, you've got the Spotify links. So if you like visuals, YouTube links are up there. Any platform you can think of, pretty sure on it. Make sure you go like, subscribe, give us a follow, all that good stuff. Flowz, how are you doing on this fine Sunday evening?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, you know what we usually do. You know what we're here to do. You know what that is. Strap SZN.
Let's talk boxing.
Let's talk boxing, man. Let's talk boxing. Yeah, I mean, we kind of previewed the fight last week. Romero versus Barroso for the WBA belt at 140 pounds. Who would have thunk it, Flowz? Who would have thunk it? Romero has got himself a world title. Who would have thought, huh? Now, usually listeners, when a fighter wins a world title, that's usually cause for celebration, right? And praise and whatnot, and adoration, all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I didn't stay up to watch the fight first, but I've woken up and obviously seen the boxing headlines and whatnot. And I'm just seeing corn coming Romero's way. And you know what? It's interesting because last week, remember how I said, Flowz, that I don't know what to make of this kid. Is he good or is he not? Is he good or is he crap? Because, I said the Tank performance was kind of impressive, but I guess the caveat you can put towards that is Tank wasn't really focused or Tank wasn't taking him seriously, but he showed me a bit of boxing ability, which I didn't think he had previously. So this is like I said, I think I said last week, Flowz, that this is a good opportunity for him to make a statement, I guess. Even though Barroso wasn't meant to be his original opponent, Barroso is still a dangerous opponent. Knockout artist, carries power. But this is a good time for him to put himself in the mix of a division that's tough. That's very, very tough. And Flowz, even though he got the W, and we'll discuss it a bit further because he was kind of gifted the W because of what the referee did, I don't think Romero made that statement. And I think I'm pretty settled, Flowz, in terms of where I place him, where he is. I'll be so real, Flowz.
Yeah.
Because Ismael Barroso was giving this guy hell. And I think it was the general consensus, Flowz, was that Romero was very fortunate to get this W, that he was losing. He was probably down on the cards. Actually, I don't think he was down on the official judges' cards, but I think most people watching it, they felt like he was down in the fight. But he somehow managed to get himself a world title, like I said, Flowz. That's my Rolly sort of tirade over. Bad refereeing, Flowz, let's put it that way. Horrible decision from the ref to end this fight. Probably one of the worst stoppages I've seen. I can't lie. Oh, definitely be one of the worst stoppages of this year. I don't know if you saw the stoppage, Flowz, or you saw how the fight played out, but yeah, what are your thoughts on, I guess, just what transpired last night for Rolly?
It's peak. The fight started slow, and out of nowhere, third round, Rolly touches the canvas, and from there, he was already getting caught for fighting someone. How old is Barroso now? Because we were talking last episode.
He's old.
This is the guy we've seen in action years ago. So much so that I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I was even thinking, what's he still doing boxing?
Yeah.
So he's already catching court for fighting someone who's old. We're already
not his fault, to be fair, Flowz. Not his fault.
Yeah,
the original opponent. Yeah.
But same time, we're even questioning how the hell he's got a title shot fresh off a loss.
Yeah. Crazy.
Fresh off a loss, debuting in a new division, and he's getting a world title shot.
Al Heyman.
Shout out to Al Heyman.
Big up Al Heyman.
Now, look, he didn't impress. He got the stoppage win, courtesy of Tony Weeks, courtesy of Al Heyman.
No, it's true. Courtesy of Al Heyman. I'm sorry.
We clocked the play last episode, bro. We said there's
thank
no
you.
way that
Get him, Flowz.
they're scheming. They're scheming on something here because how do you get a title shot out the blue, fresh off a loss, new division, and then it's all. I feel everything they're doing with these BBC, like everyone that Tank's beaten, they're using to build up.
Yeah.
As their resume improves, Tank's resume improves. Yeah, Tank's beaten a champion,
a 140-pound champion. Yeah.
Tank stopped this guy. Now he's a champ. Like that's what they're gonna keep doing. And they've gifted him this title. They've gifted him the fight, and they've gifted him the win. Crazy stoppage.
Terrible.
I don't know if you want to break it down and how the stoppage played out. And
I mean, that 9th round. First of all, yeah, just before we get to the stoppage, I mean, just performance-wise, Rolly was letting this guy outwork him, tag him. It was just, you could clearly see that Rolly isn't the level of what? No, he's not at world title level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rolly's still a rookie, really and truly.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that. In the sense that, yeah, he was letting this Barroso guy have his way. And Barroso shouldn't be having his way. You're the younger, fresher champion. Younger, fresher fighter. You should be forcing the issue and bullying Barroso, might I say. But he got caught in the third and got dropped. It wasn't too much of a heavy knockdown. But just a sign that, yes, this Barroso guy is a knockout artist and he carries power, even though he's old. The power was the last thing to go. Now we get to, the 9th round now. And Rolly is initially pushed. They've had an exchange. They've come together for an exchange. And Rolly's pushed Barroso down to the canvas. Obviously, referees ruled it as correctly, ruled it as a push, didn't count, etc. And then again, they've come together again for the exchange Flowz. And if you notice, Rolly's actually pushed him again, but to slightly pushed him. It's like a punch push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's punched him. It hasn't really. It was very scrappy and very ugly punch, as in the exchange. And then he sort of pushed him towards the end, and that's pushed Barroso towards the ropes, the corner. And then Rolly's gone in and started throwing a flurry of shots, which weren't even landing. A lot of them were missed, very ugly shots. Weren't even landing correctly. Next thing you know, Barroso wasn't hurt. Cool, he was taking fire, but again, the shots weren't really landing cleanly. Tony Reeks out of nowhere has come and just jumped in and stopped the fight and waved it off. Crazy, crazy stoppage. Especially when Tony Weeks is considered Flowz a good ref. Very experienced, good ref in there. He should know better. So from him, it's like, damn, this is poor all round. And already, it just stinks of, as you said, conspiracy, Al Heyman, tampering, and whatnot, what we're trying to set up. Because there's no way in hell should that fight have been stopped at that very moment, man. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Barroso's been, he's been shafted here massively.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. He was down in all three judges' scorecards, Romero.
Romero was down. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I was making sure
all three judges.
Public scorecards as well. He was down as well. Like he was. Yeah. He was getting. It was a horrible performance from Rolly.
Yeah. He was getting outworked, outlanded. He was tentative. He was trying to box a move or box on the back foot. Yeah.
Obviously, Flowz, the Tank performance gassed him, so now he thinks he can box. You better stick to what you know.
Yeah.
Because remember when he came in saying to the Tank performance that he came in before Tank Press was saying, "I'm not even gonna try. I'm not a boxer. I can't box. I'm a power guy. I'm gonna get you on my power." Stick to that, bro. Stick to that. But yeah.
He knocked him down. No, it was a push. Yeah, the push. You said no. He got a knockdown. He got a knockdown in the 9th. There was a push earlier. There was a knockdown in the 9th.
Are you sure?
There was a push. I think he counted him. Tony Weeks was counting him. Right?
I thought the referee waved it off. Maybe check again.
Because I know there was a push that he rolled down, and then there was a knockdown in the 9th. So and he got up, and anyway, the corner situation. Look, Barroso was getting tired. He was tiring, but at the same time, he's not hurt in that flurry there. He's not hurt. He's not wobbled.
Yeah.
he's just in the corner, and Rolly's not even landing too tough.
Yeah.
And Tony Weeks steps in and waves off. Now, look, once again, Tony Weeks is a good ref.
He is.
And with him, he's the one in the ring. And sometimes, I don't know, maybe he's looking at Barroso and he's seeing something that none of us are seeing. Maybe he's looking at him and he's thinking, I need to save this guy.
Let's jump in quickly.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it. Look, I'm trying to offer possibilities. And I say that because I want to ask the question, do you think refs should ref with public opinion in mind? Because
no.
Like, refs so they don't get criticized.
No.
Like, look, you don't think they should?
They shouldn't ref with that in the back of their mind about criticism in public. Who cares what the public think?
But,
do your job.
No, I'm saying that because, look, if you think, this guy looks hurt to me, but to everyone else, he's not too hurt. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me not jump in too early so I don't get criticized.
Right.
Because, I don't know, whatever he saw, he felt the need to stop it. And this is just me. We know why he stopped it. It's how Hayward, but let's say he saw something.
Yeah. I mean, if he genuinely saw something, or he felt he saw something that, look, this guy looks in trouble. Who are we to say, fair enough, you're the man in the middle, it's your job, it's your judgment. At that point, it's a judgment call, right, Flowz? It's their judgment versus everyone else's. And he felt, as a referee, his job, in terms of protecting the fighter, making sure it's a fair fight, that he's got to jump in now, fair enough. I can't argue against that, Flowz. And people make errors. It's human, right? We're all humans, right? We all make errors. It's human error in everything that we do. Sometimes the referee might get it wrong, or might just not jump in time, or jump in too late. But in this case, again, who are we to say? Haven't heard from Tony Weeks since. Well, obviously, he might come out and say, yes, he thought that this guy was hurt, which is fair enough. Then we say that's an error on your part, Tony. In this case, though, because of the Al Heyman thing, I'm reluctant to give him to shoot him some bell. Let's put it that way, Flowz, because of the fact that it just reeks of PBC machinations. Honestly, bro, it does. Machination, bro, it really does.
We've said this a million times on the podcast. We know what side always gets the benefit of the doubt, always gets the early stoppage win. And
it's interesting because Roddy himself even said it was stopped too early. Like, credit to Roddy, he did say that the referee made the error, but then straight away he was there calling out Ryan Garcia, saying, 140 pounds, let's get it on, and then the winner fights Tank. Like, he was already calling for that little trick, like, Ryan Garcia next, I knock him out, and then I get the Tank rematch at 140, blah blah. That's and that could actually happen.
That's what
that could actually happen. Still, that could happen. So it's like we can see the play from a mile off.
The play's there. Look, now Tank's a 140 champion. Look, they're gonna do whatever they can.
Imagine now if Isaac Cruz comes up, he'll fight Rolly. Isaac Cruz gets a title shot. Winner faces Tank in the rematch. Like, fam, we can see it a mile off, dog.
Yeah. Look, I told you, none of these guys who've lost to Tank's career is finished, because I've even already seen the tweets. People say Tank's resume just got better.
Oh, God.
I'll send it to you. I saw Tank's resume just got better. I was like, man. Look, they're going to build up all these guys that Tank has beaten. Going to build. You know what? It's smart, because that's the mistake they made with Wilder. They let Wilder beat these guys, and they stayed food.
Yeah.
They tried it with Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz.
King Kong.
So I said the most avoided man.
Yeah. The boogeyman of the heavyweight division.
They should have been doing it with all these opponents. Watch what they do with Tank. They're going to build up all these guys.
Crazy.
Shout out to Rolly. He did say, look, I wanted it to continue. He wanted it to continue. And which is credit to him, because most boxers would have been like,
out on his feet.
He was out on his feet.
Facts. Boxers lie. Boxers are one of the biggest liars, man.
He was out on his feet. The ref saved. Great stop. They would have said great stoppage, by the way. But he was humble.
He has to be with that performance. I think it's fair to see, Flowz, that Roy isn't the level. Enjoy that belt for all you can, because we said that division is full of killers. And I'm sure certain other men in that division are probably thinking, boy, my route to a belt or my route to a unified, easy work with Romero. You know what I mean? So, yeah, enjoy that belt all we can. But he there's a lot of improvement he needs to do because that performance against a 40-year-old Barroso, how old he is, wasn't good, man. Wasn't good at all. Yeah, he's got to be doing better. But yeah, I think I'm firmly know what boat I'm placing Romero in now. Flowz, rightfully removed from our prospect list. Hey, to be fair, you can also say that the prospect list was right because he went and grabbed the title 140. So maybe we did win. Maybe we were right.
Either way, we won.
But yeah, man. Yeah, let's call it on that with Rolly. Let's get to some real fights because next week, Flowz, we've got two undisputed fights to talk about for upcoming. Let's start with the ladies. Let's start with the ladies. Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. Katie Taylor. So if I'm right, Flowz, Katie Taylor is challenging for Chantel's for light welterweight belts. I'm
not sure actually. I'm not sure which way around it is.
I think she's from what I can see, if I just confirm on the Matchroom website. Super lightweight, undisputed. So I think that's Chantel's. Yeah.
Okay.
That's light welterweight, isn't it? Because Katie's at lightweight.
So light welterweight is
Chantel.
Yeah.
So that's super lightweight, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, she's challenging for Chantel's 4 belts. I actually thought it was the other way around before. But, so in this sense, Katie Taylor's going up. She's moving up to challenge Chantel.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Her they're billing it as her homecoming. It's her first fight in Dublin. Since turning pro, right? Her first fight back in Ireland.
Yeah, she didn't fight in Ireland, so
must be. That's crazy, by the way. I always find that mad. Given all what she's achieved, this is finally her first fight back. And again, new division up against a very, very good, fresh, young, hungry opponent in Chantel Cameron, who we've highlighted on this pod before. Did the double over McCaskill, didn't she?
Comfortably.
Comfy, easy work as well. And we thought McCaskill was pretty good. Did it the first time, did it even easier the second time. Man, this is actually a really good fight. Flowz, really, really good fight. Obviously, it's undisputed, so it's going to be good.
No, it was just once they fought.
Oh, it was only once.
It was just.
Okay, McCaskill did the double over Breakhouse. Yes, that was the one that was mad. Yeah. But then Chantel pieced up McCaskill with ease.
Comfy.
Yeah. Man. Really, really, really interesting fight. Flowz, what's your take on it, Flowz? Because this is gonna be competitive. I feel like this is gonna be a test. Even though everyone wanted a Serrano match, this might be harder, low key.
This is tough. This is tough because we like Cameron, and the thing is with Katie Taylor, we've always said we've questioned whether she's on the decline. A lot of people, to be fair, it looks like she's on the decline because each fight is getting tougher and tougher for her. And she always goes to war. That's one thing I've seen about her. She always goes to war, and these wars take a toll. We've seen her go to war with it. War after war it's been now, actually. Close fight after close fight. She's even been gifted a victory against Pursuit. I think this could be another close fight and potentially an upset. I think there's a big chance of an upset here.
Why do you say that, Flowz?
Because honestly, Katie Taylor, it's not like she struggles every fight. I've said this before. The best fighters take away your attributes or whatever and don't let you perform to your best. Katie Taylor almost lets you perform to your best. She lets you perform to your best. You'll be training, going life or death. She'll just say, I want to beat you at your game. I want to smoke you. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. And that's a risky type of game plan to play. Especially now you're moving up to fight Chantel Cameron. Granted, it's not massive weight you have to put on. But Chantel Cameron's good. She's clean. She's undisputed champion. She cooked Jessica McCaskill, and McCaskill probably gave Katie Taylor a tougher test than she gave Cameron. So yeah, I think there's a potential upset here. But that doubling crowd is going to be active. The crowd seems to pull her through in these big fights as well. So I think Cameron's got to go up against the crowd and go up against a skilled fighter, but I think it'll be a close fight. Granted, I definitely think it's going to be a close fight. Certainly going to be a war.
So my question to you, Flores, quickly. You mentioned how Katie tends to fight her opponent's fight because she's sick like that. Do you think she'll do the same with Chantel? Yeah,
I think she knows she knows the other way.
Chantel's a bit of a boxer herself, I would say.
Yeah.
So it could be a chess match in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you say that, but it's 2-minute rounds. So I think Cameron's it's going to be, but they're going to. Katie Taylor has hand speed. That's her game. So she'll use her hand speed and she gets hit.
Yeah.
And when there's openings, you want to take the openings. And when someone's throwing hands, you want to kind of counter. So I think they're going to be trading off. I think maybe it's not going to be a barnstormer from the get-go, but the fight will come to life. It will come to life. They'll be trading shots. They'll both be landing. But just Katie Taylor tends to outland everyone.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When it comes to, especially as she's coming up, Flores, she's older, but her best attribute to Katie is speed in it. It's her hand speed. Yeah. It's crazy. She might still have she'll probably have the edge on her over this. So I'm intrigued to see how this plays out because I feel like, Katie Taylor tends to fight her opponent's fight. I think she'll be looking in this one to turn this into a war still and try to come forward and be aggressive and just blitz her with the hand speed, while Chantel Cameron will stick to what she knows in terms of the boxing. It's so hard to see past Katie Flowz. It really is, because she's so difficult to it's really hard to get the final word against her because she keeps covered. You know what I mean? And it's intense all the time, Flowz. You know what I mean? It's really hard. And you think with the double cam,
you think she'd be a boxer?
Flowz? Yeah. But she doesn't box really. You would think she's a boxer, but she's actually a brawler. I'll be so real, Flowz. From now, she's a brawler. She's actually a brawler. Full-on brawler.
In the early fights, she'd box. But then I feel like she gets drawn out into these fights. Or she just, at some point, she just thinks, buddy, let's have it.
And Flowz, with that home, the home, I mean, her following is amazing anywhere she goes, America, whatever. This is back in Ireland. The crowd's going to be raucous, bro. Crazy, raucous crowd. It's going to be, it's going to be a crazy din. So with that behind her, that's going to fuel the brawl mentality. Let's keep it up. That's going to have her coming forward and just taking risks. And I don't know how Chantel's going to deal with it. I think Chantel's brilliant and a great boxer herself, but this is a different ball game with Katie Taylor. And especially as Katie Taylor's used to these big nights. She's been in how many of these big nights has she been in? This is really and truly Chantel's first big night with a big crowd behind all that kind of stuff. This is almost bread and butter for Katie Taylor. So I think that's going to play a factor. Normally it wouldn't, but I think in this case that will play a factor. And I don't want to, because I think maybe I'm not going to say mentally. Obviously Chantel, there was that whole Shane McWigan thing and whatnot, and she had a lady taken off the card because of it, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's a sign that she can be gotten at mentally, even though Shane McWigan won't be there. It kind of shows that her thinking.
Nervous.
I mean, no, I feel like nerves. 100% Flowz.
Yeah,
and with that Irish crowd going as how it is, Flowz,
it's hot.
It's hot. Bro, it's burning.
And this is her first big. She's not faced anyone at Katie Taylor's level, really. She's not. I think we were impressed with how she beat. Was it Mary McGee? And then obviously
Even the McCaskill performance was very impressive to me.
Yes,
Yeah,
smoked her. Yeah,
but
McCaskill looks.
She looked finished.
Yeah,
Almost as if she put her last ounce of life force in beating Breakhouse twice, basically.
Yeah,
because that performance was crazy.
Yeah,
because you remember the McCaskill, that first Breakhouse performance. You saw the difference between the two. Crazy.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Cameron's got a mountain to climb. I think she has the ability. I think Katie Taylor might be on the climb. We don't know how much she's declined since that last war.
Yeah.
But Katie Taylor always goes to war in my eyes. It's always back and forth with her. So I don't think it's anything new in terms of her declining as such. Cameron's got a mountain to climb. Let's see if she can do it. But I think Katie Taylor's the favorite, man.
I was gonna say, what's your prediction, Flowz? You got a winner?
If Katie Taylor got that, what's it called? That Canelo type of thing in Dublin, it's going to be a decision win.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, she won't stop her.
I think Cameron's got to get like knockdowns or something.
Facts.
And we've seen
she can do it. She has stopped opponents before.
Yeah,
I think she's eight knockouts and 17 wins, which is respectable in the women's game. Very highly respectable even. So she's got the power, I feel like, but Katie Taylor's also got a monster chin from what I've seen. So yeah, but I can't look past Katie on this one, Flowz, again, man. I just feel like, yeah, man. I feel like her big fight experience as well is going to really be helpful in this one, Flowz. Massive. It's going to be massive for her. And no shade to Chantal. I think Chantal was cold, but yeah, there's just that that know-how, that heritage. You know what I mean, Flowz? So that home crowd and that experience is going to bring it home for Katie, I think, in this one. Hey, if Chantal it
might be controversial. It might be a controversial one, but Katie Taylor, when it comes to the decision and the hand speed and how often she lands and how quick she is, it's difficult to look past her, man.
If Chantal does do it though, that's major hats off, major props, man. Like crazy. But yeah, man, it's a tough tale. It's a tough task.
Yeah, possible though. Definitely possible.
Yeah, undercard ain't bad. I mean, undercard you got. Funny enough, we spoke. Terry Harper's on the card, fighting Celia Breakhouse. Yeah. Breakhouse. How old is Breakhouse now, man? She's still going, you know.
And she should have retired, man. She must be. She should have. After
I think she's just trying to get back anything in it because it's a title fight. She's just trying to get anything back as she can. But yeah, she's 41 now, Flowz. She's old. But this is for the super welterweight titles, the WBA super welterweight title, which is obviously what Terry Harper has. Yeah, man. That's actually a good fight as well, actually, Flowz. That's worth tuning into, I must say. Even though it's not the same Breakhouse of old, she's probably still a bit dangerous. Terry Harper has to be on her toes on that one. So that's the co-main. But the rest of it is kind of just like the Irish. Obviously, it's an Irish card, so a lot of Irish fighters. That black Irishman's on it, Flowz. That Agiako.
Bro, don't
ask me because I don't know. Because
probably Kevin.
It's probably Kevin. But you know them Irish names are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. So I'm not even bother trying to say his name. It looks like Kwomin, but I know it's not Kwomin. It's probably Kevin or Kevin or so. Kiwi. I don't know, man.
I can't remember his first name, but I know they say it. But yeah, he's like the Irish. Yeah, half mixed race brother. Yeah.
He's trying to become the first Black Irish champion. Hope he gets it one day. But yeah, he's undefeated at the moment. He's fighting. I'm trying to see who else I recognize in the card. Thomas Carty, Dennis Hogan. He's been around for a while. JJ Metcalf. Gary Cully. Yeah, these are some other guys. But yeah, definitely the two women's fights. Definitely worth tuning in for. Yeah, man, it should be. Hey, women's boxing doesn't really let us down, Flowz, as we've said many times. So I'm excited for this one. I think it's gonna be a cold one. But yeah, I just think Katie Taylor's gonna have just a bit too much for Miss Cameron.
Yeah, fair.
Cool. Let's get to the meat and bones of it. The main event. We here. Haney, Lomachenko for all the marbles. This fight, man, I feel like it's been a fight that has been anticipated in this division for a long, long time. Ever since Devin Haney came to the fore in that division, I think they wanted to set up the Lomachenko. Obviously, the whole emo champion thing, well, kind of stuff. It all stemmed from this, really, Flo, isn't it? Haney versus Loma.
Yeah.
We finally getting it. A few years later, I must say, but it's here now. And since then, since that whole emo champion debacle flows, we've gotten. Haney's clean up the division, and sits at the top of the mountain rightfully. And Lomachenko has had to battle back from that tough Teofimo loss. But he's earned his way back, I guess, Flowz. And now he's back fighting for all the belts, trying to, I guess, take his claim or retake his claim at the top of the mountain in that 135-pound division. Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this one, Flowz. These are two incredible boxers. Two of the best technicians that you will see in the boxing ring from a technical boxing perspective. Two guys that epitomize the whole hit and not get hit. Yeah, man, this is going to be a highly tactical fight, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, Flowz, I'm so confident in a Devin Haney dub. I'm really confident. And it's crazy because a couple of years back, I think the whole world, were in awe of Vasily Lomachenko. I think awe is the right word to use.
It was, yeah.
Just the boxing world were in awe of this guy, man. Just what he was bringing to the table, the ability, like we were saying, he's a once-in-a-generation fighter. That what he's doing with the footwork, the angles, it just can't be replicated. It's incredible. How he's able to attack and defend at the same time. It's like, what, huh? And he was blitzing, man. Obviously, he suffered that early loss, which was, I guess, his fault. That was a kind of welcome to the pro ranks kind of loss. Like, I think he fought that the wrong way. But then went on a massive tear and was just battering everyone. Having people quit. Did he make like 2 or 3 people quit on their stool before?
Yeah, went on the run.
Wait, Nicholas Waters.
Bring it down. Yeah.
As he was befuddling so many men with his ability that they were just quitting. And these weren't scrubs, by the way. Nicholas Waters at the time was undefeated like Loma and was knocking everybody out. And everyone said, this is the guy that's going to stop Loma. Had him quit. Since then, Nicholas, he never fought again, you know. I think he retired straight after that. Have you heard of Nicholas Waters again? No one heard of him.
So. I don't think he's fought.
I'm pretty sure, bro, he wasn't even that young. He wasn't that old. But anyways, Rigondeaux was another once-in-a-generational fighter.
That was meant to be a tough... that was meant to be a big fight, yeah.
That was meant to be the battle of the... As in, these are two... Remember, they said these are the 2 finest amateur fighters we've ever had, ever. As in, because Lomachenko's record was, 300 wins, 1 loss or something.
Yeah, 400.
Yeah, something like that. No, 396 and then 4 losses, something like that.
Yeah,
and Rigondeaux's got the same, 300 wins, one or 2 losses. Like, both of their amateur records combined were just, insane. And Lomachenko battered him so badly that this guy quit. And that's a whole... Rigondeaux is one of the... I've watched boxing for a long time. This nigga... this guy can box, bro. Rigondeaux can box.
It was it early? It wasn't even in the late rounds. It was the middle rounds.
Yeah, middle rounds. It was peak.
I couldn't believe it.
So rightfully so, Flowz, the whole world was in awe of Lomachenko. So much so that the PBC lot were hating hard. You know what? You know when the PBC lot are hating on you, that's when you know you're doing something. Like I can't say that Floyd was there saying, "Nah, man, ain't nothing special." You know what they always say?
Yeah.
You know how when the shade comes from that camp, it's deep. So I know they was overjoyed, and a lot of people were overjoyed when he hit that massive stumbling block on Teofimo Lopez. Credits again. That performance when Teofimo was spot on, deserved the W, amazing. But I saw some people Flowz after that loss. It's like Lomachenko's done, he's finished, blah blah. I'm there thinking, no, did you not watch the second half of the fight?
Yeah.
What he was battering Teofimo and basically left it too late. There's definitely plenty left in the tank with Lomachenko, but Teofimo was just the wrong opponent for him. He came up against a guy who not only was a lot bigger than him, had the size and could punch, but also was skilled enough to angle with him and box with him. And that's kind of why, Flowz, I'm quite confident in Devin Haney is going to beat Lomachenko as well. Because it's a combination, again, of not only the skill, because I think Devin Haney is supremely skilled, one of the most skilled fighters out there, but he also has that huge size advantage. And the combination of size and skill, for me, I've always said it, Flowz, size and skill is the best combination for me. That's always going to get you Ws. It's why I rank other fighters in other divisions higher than other fighters, because, again, they've got the skill and they've got the size. And I just think Devin Haney is going to be too big, too strong, and they're skilled. Especially in the art of not getting hit and whatnot and defending and boxing from the outside, etc. That's why I think Lomachenko is going to fall on Saturday night, Flowz. That's why I've got him losing, I'm afraid. And it's crazy because Lomachenko is still him. He's still Lomachenko. From what we've seen since the Teofimo loss, Flowz, he's been good. I remember what's the guy name he beat up? Kome. From when he's there saying, referee, stop the fight, please, because I'm beating this guy up. Like, and Comey is a good, durable fighter. To be fair, though, Lomachenko's last fight, Flowz, Jermaine Ortiz, a lot of people thought he lost that one. It wasn't a vintage Lomachenko performance. He struggled. And again, Flowz, what was it because of? Because Loma, not only was this Jermaine Ortiz guy bigger than Loma, but he could also box pretty damn well. So I feel like that's the kryptonite for Lomachenko, man. The size and the skill. If you got the size and skill, he will struggle because there's only so much that his small body can handle. Because we can't forget, Flowz, Lomachenko, it shouldn't even be at 135 pounds. He's actually punching above his weight. He's small. He should really be at 130 or 126. So yeah, man, I think that's why Devin Haney's got the beating of Loma because of the size and skill.
Yeah. I've been saying Devin Haney for some time now.
You have? Yep.
But I will say this. The Teofimo loss, he said, if they ran it back, Lomachenko might have it.
Well, with this current, absolutely now, for sure.
Yeah, at the time,
yes, we did.
Because
the way he came on strong.
Yeah. The day after, he had surgery on his right shoulder. So that was obviously playing a factor. He didn't make any excuses, I don't think, but we saw how he came on strong the second half. But granted, Teofimo earned it and deserved it because that 12th round for me was brilliant to see. Yeah. But yeah, came back, smoked Nakatani. Was it Nakatani? Yeah, smoked Nakatani after surgery. Beat the brakes of Kome, was telling his corner to throw in the towel. He could have stopped him, but he allowed him on multiple occasions, like, stop fighting, legit. Stop fighting to petition. Now, the Jermaine Ortiz fight, I think I said he lost it as well.
Yeah, you did.
I think I was one of the ones like, nah, he lost that. And that's telling to me. But I think that's still the deal that, David Haney's got him. Because David Haney's huge compared to him. Like, he even said when they faced off.
He said, is this lightweight?
It looks like a middleweight. Look, but with that all being said and done, this is Lomachenko's most important fight to date. Like, it's Devin Haney's, but this might be last chance saloon for Lomachenko. Legit last chance saloon. Because if he loses this...
Full stop or at 135? Because I've been saying he should move down.
He should move down. Yeah, he should move down. At 135, then there's nothing. Because look, none of these lightweights are small anymore.
They're all big.
If you lose, Shakur's in the wings.
Yeah.
You know what, those problems. So this is last chance saloon. You win this and get out. Or you lose this and get out.
He wins
so
this.
How do you want to go?
But Flowz, you know what's going to happen if he wins this? He wins this. Well, there's probably a rematch clause in there. But okay, let's say he beats Haney. What amount of times he needs to beat Haney? Yeah, it's Shakur straight away.
And you lose
Top ranker lined it up. Yes, and he's definitely losing that one.
You lose that. And that would have to, like, look, I think the motivation for him is at an all-time high. It has to be for this fight. Has to be. He needs game plan, everything, performance, everything, because your last one was a stinker. He's gonna have to. I think we might see one of the we have to see the best Lomachenko. Surely, we have to see the best Lomachenko.
I think he's so motivated because I think he's probably the underdog, Flowz, and he knows it. For the first time in his career, for the first time in his career, Lomachenko's an underdog, and we know these Eastern Europeans, Flowz, are built different. They actually relish that. That's that I've got something to prove. Hunger coming for Devin Haney. Loma, to me, Flowz, Loma has to start fast. He has to set the pace, set the tone from early. Not like against Teofimo where he started tentatively because Teofimo didn't allow him to start fast, to be fair.
Yeah.
But in the end, he said, F this, let me throw caution to the wind and just take risks. I think he might have to take risks early. Because if he lets Devin Haney settle into that rhythm early from the jab outside, it's going to be similar to what Teofimo did to him, honestly, Flowz.
He was worried about Teofimo's power, though.
He was.
See? Teofimo will land a jab to the body. If you go to the other side of the ring.
Teofimo can crack. We've seen it. Teofimo can crack. Devin Haney, not so much.
Devin Haney they got that same power. So I don't think he'll be, I doubt he'll be as tentative or as concerned about Devin Haney's jab. It's a great jab, though, nonetheless. It's a great jab.
Sensational jab. Yeah.
And yeah, we've got to remember Devin Haney's fought no one at this level. No one even remotely close to Lomachenko's level.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you could say Loma's fought great boxers.
They only have what? How many one common opponent, right? In why do I always forget his name, Fruff? Venezuelan, Golden Boy. As in he's called the Golden Boy.
Linares.
I always forget his name. He's a very, very good fighter. I should always forget his name. Yeah. Loma stopped him. But don't forget, he dropped Loma.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but Linares dropped Loma.
Yeah, he did.
So that's the only common opponent they have. And don't forget, Linares also wobbled Haney too. Do you remember? To the mat. So that's their common opponent. But in the end, yes, after getting dropped early, Loma just went crazy on Linares and ended up getting him out of there. Haney got wobbled by Linares, but in the end went boxed his way to a UD. Probably say Loma's probably more impressive, his performance. Obviously, he stopped the guy in the end. But yeah, that's their common opponent, I guess. I can't really use that as a benchmark between where both of them are. No. Question for you, Flowz.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot was made of his last performance, Lomachenko's, in terms of Ortiz and how he really struggled. And again, like I said, I felt like that's kind of sort of the blueprint in beating Lomachenko. If you got the size and the skill to be able to, because when he angles you, if you got the footwork to step with him, that takes away the angle, right? That's the best way to deal with an angle. You got to angle with them, you step with them. And Ortiz showed that. I'm sure Haney's got the footwork to do that as well. But do you think that was unmotivated Loma, or a Loma that was looking past Ortiz to try and get to Haney, or already had Haney in his mind? Or do you think that's a sign of the fact that Loma might be on the decline? That Ortiz.
It's a weird one because Ortiz was his sparring partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to say whether he was looking past Ortiz because we were like, this is just.
Imagine we said that they fed Ortiz to the wolves, and then imagine us the next 4 weeks saying, "Whoa, we got it really wrong. This kid can really fight. Ortiz is quality."
We thought it was a light touch. We thought, they're just feeding him his sparring partner, and we were shocked and surprised. And like you said, I gave Ortiz the win, arguably. I think it's hard to say because we've seen Loma look so impressive in the previous two outings, and that one might just be a blip. Maybe he was looking past him. Maybe he let's give Ortiz credit. Ortiz was brilliant. But you can't say that Lomachenko weren't aware. Lomachenko knows him well. He's smart. But maybe it's because of the sparring that Ortiz was well prepared. Who knows?
Maybe.
I think I'm not going to take too much from that performance. In terms of Loma's performance as such, I think he has to perform better this time around. There's things at stake here. For all the marbles. For all the marbles. The belts that you lost. But then again, I don't know if it's going to be an exciting fight. I think it's going to be a legit chess match. I can't say. I'm not sure if the casuals will enjoy this one too much.
I'm good with that. I love a chess match. I love a technical fight sometimes. So yeah, me too. Absolutely.
That ones where you got to stay focused.
As in, really watch Flowz. I mean, look, how strong is your eye become, Flowz?
the nuances in footwork. Wait, you're not watching the punches. You're watching the movement. You're watching the feints.
Yeah.
That's
it's definitely gonna be that. And Loma knows he's gonna have to work his way inside with this one because of how good Haney's outside game is now. He's jabbing, obviously he's got the size and reach, but working on the way working his way on the inside is bread and butter. Loma's probably the best in the world at that, low key. Like he with his footwork alone. So I think there will be action in portions, but yes, there'll be a lot of cagey, tentative, technical rounds. I look forward to it. I'm happy that Loma's finally got the chance because I'll be so real. He was the original one in this division that was pushing the whole undisputed one name, one face thing. It started with him. Loma was the first. And I feel like it would have been a bit of a travesty if he never got the opportunity to fight for all the belts because he was the one that wanted everything. And the whole TF situation, the email champ situation, that wasn't because of him. That was Bob Arum that took that away from him. And he was livid. He came out and said, that wasn't me. So he's been wanting to fight Haney and get it on with all these guys for a long, long time. So I'm happy he's finally got the chance to fight for all the belts. He deserves it. It's just a shame that it's Devin Haney. I just think Haney's got the beating of him. I just think Haney's better than him. A few years ago, when Haney first came onto the scene, I wouldn't have said that, but I've seen Haney improve and get better each time. And he's at the peak of his powers now. In fact, not even now. Haney's still got more to grow and to develop because he's still the youngest, right? He's still like
the youngest out of the batch,
Yeah. So Haney's going to get better. But I just feel like he's ascending at a level now that's higher than Lomachenko's, and that's what it is, man. It's deep.
Oh, now we talk about Devin Haney's age. I have two questions for you. Well, two points to make.
Yeah, shoot.
One, the weight issue. Did Devin Haney still make 135? We've seen him look rather drained. He said it's tough to make it.
Yep.
Could that play a factor? Second one now.
It can.
Is remember where we talked about years before the pod even?
Yeah.
Mayweather getting Canelo at the right time.
Yes.
Like Mayweather's got him at a good time. He's still young.
Yeah.
Mayweather was how old? In his 30s? Probably about the same age as Lomo.
Yeah.
Funny,
maybe
we never talk about
35, 36 maybe?
We never talk about Mayweather's age when he was beating up these guys. But anyway, Lomachenko's 35.
Yeah.
Is he catching Devin Haney at the right time? 23-year-old Devin Haney.
No.
It's
too late.
Haney's ready.
It's too late. Haney's here now. Canelo wasn't here now. Canelo was still... Yeah, nah. Haney's here now. I think if you compare the two, Haney's further along than when Canelo was barely 20, I swear. How old was Canelo? Canelo was like 2021. Like he was... But Haney's been through... Okay, you can say the level of position is maybe similar, but he's fought these big fights, undisputed, had 2 undisputed fights. I feel like Canelo was behind Haney in terms of where they were when he fought Floyd, as opposed to Haney fighting Lomachenko. So that's the answer to that one. And I do think the weight could be an issue, but not so much of an issue to hinder him. I suspect. I mean, I don't know the terms of the contract and whatnot, but I suspect Haney is going to rehydrate up nicely after the weigh-in. And he's going to come in big. Haney's going to come in big. So, pause. But I it will be a little issue, I think, but not so much of an issue, I don't think. But I will say that I think Haney has said before that really he wants this fight, he's going to want to bounce. But then he's also now said, I feel like because of the pressure Shakur's applying to entertain it, he's entertaining that he could stay for a couple more fights. But really and truly, I believe that the Team Haney's plan is to get the hell out of Dodge after they've beaten Lomachenko and move up. And just tell Shakur to come meet me at 140. But he is starting to look drained. I do think making 135 is tough for him, for sure.
He's always made weight, so fair play to him. And in fact, fair play to him for taking this fight because he could have the chip on his shoulder. We've seen Tank refuse to fight Lomachenko. He could have a chip on his shoulder, so you didn't give me the shot, so why should I give you the shot?
The thing is, I've generally, Haney's always wanted to fight this guy. I feel like Haney's looked at this brother from day one and said, maybe not your food, but I've got the beating of you. I can beat you. I know how to beat you. And he's wanted to fight this guy for a long ass time. And which is why he's doing, it's almost like fan service Flowz in that sense. To make this happen. And Loma, likewise as well, I think has always wanted to fight Haney. They probably all said he's probably heard in his ear all this time that there's a guy who's better boxing than you, and he's thinking, what? Better boxer than me? Come on now. So yeah, man, I'm on board with it, Flowz. This is Lomachenko is hella motivated for this. He has to be, man.
Yeah.
Crazy motivated for this.
We have to see a great,
and that's dangerous. We know what Momo's like when he gets in that groove. Like he's very tough to deal with. But I believe in Haney's ability. I feel like Haney is just him, especially for Loma. I just think that he's stylistically wrong for Loma. He's got the size and he can box just as well, or maybe a shade underneath, but still at a high level, high degree. That's what it is, man. That's why I've always been confident, bro, in Devin on this one.
Yeah, I hear you. And I'm thinking that the points I gave to you earlier, each one of their fan bases are going to use them as an excuse if they lose. You know that?
Yes,
they're going to say, hey, Haney, Loma was too old, Haney was too big.
Yeah.
Or Haney was too young, he was too green.
Yeah.
And he got him too early. Those are the excuses lined up. But granted, shout out to Haney. I think this fight for him could propel him into superstardom as well. I think this is in terms of his brand, in terms of the money. I think the Kambosos fight wouldn't have won him too much money or whatever, but this one will earn him bread, and then he can start controlling things or start pushing his weight around as undisputed champion.
Yeah.
But Haney's always shown he wants to fight. The fact that he says he'll stick around to fight Shakur or Tank, when that fight can still happen, either of those fights can happen at 140. There's no need.
That's why I respect him so much, Flowz.
Yeah.
Because he's about what he says. So yeah.
100%. He's talked it, he's walked it.
Facts. And I rate Haney so highly. You know, he deserves all the accolades he's getting. I've been pretty vocal. As I said, I only see two people beating him. And yeah, Lomachenko is not one of those two people. So yeah, to me, it's going to be a double. It's going to be Haney UD for me, Flowz. For me, Haney UD. What about for you?
Yeah, I think it'll be that. This is on ESPN though, right?
Yes, it's top rank. Yeah, it'll be top rank.
Crazy. Because they might want to group, because this is Haney's last fight with him. It was a 3-fight deal.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So will they want him to walk away with those belts?
Yo, allow it.
Because there's the
I feel like they're going to try and re-up him if he wins, especially. They look to re-up because they can then try and negotiate the Shakur fight potentially. That's if Haney wants to stick around.
Great for Haney. Great position for Haney to be in.
Absolutely.
Free agent, he can start. Yeah, great position. He'll make. He's already been making money, but he'll make money.
Yeah,
from
he makes good money.
Yeah. But yeah, back to your point, you asked me. Yeah, Haney UD for me, man. But gradually as we get closer to the fight, I mean, liking Lomachenko's chances a bit more. I'm just feeling how he'd be feeling.
Bro,
so
it's dangerous for Haney still. Loma can win this, 100% cool. It's Lomachenko. It's crazy. It doesn't sound mad how we're talking about Loma. Flowz, doesn't sound mad how we're talking about Lomachenko right now. This is the flipping Lomachenko. Again, this is the guy that had the boxing world at his feet without thinking, wow. Every Lomachenko fight was box office to watch from a boxing perspective.
The highlights of him, the clips.
bro. Loma's given us some wonderful moments, but, you know, errors don't go on forever, Flowz, as we know. And there comes a time when it does end. So this could be the end of it. I do hope he sticks around. But maybe not, because I still want to see him fight Tank. I still want to see him fight these other guys. But I also understand that 135, he actually is putting himself at a disadvantage. And maybe he is right. He goes back down to 130 because, he'd be able to compete better there, etc. So yeah, I do want to see Loma stick around in boxing at least, whether it's a 135 or 130. That's down to him. But I don't think he should retire after this. But he's had a great career, amateur and professional wise. And he's given us some great moments. If he decide to walk away after this, fair enough. But I still want to see Loma and Papachenko as well. I still want to see both of them in the cut.
Yeah,
both great guys. But yeah, man. Hey, I can't wait for it, Flowz. That's we talked about it. We'll see what happens now. But it's definitely a fight I'll be tuned in for. Certain fights, Flowz, you don't bother getting up. It's like whatever. But this is a fight I'll be definitely making sure I make the effort for to see, because this is top tier boxing, bro. Top tier boxing. Shout out to both guys, Haney, Lomachenko, for going for this, and we look forward to seeing. Yeah, Flowz. Anything in the boxing news that you want to highlight quickly before we sign off?
Now, let me just say, your boy Tyson Luke Fury, the Gypsy King. Have you heard that?
Why do you always say his middle name? That's so funny.
That's his name.
Tyson
Luke.
Yeah, go on. What's he done now?
Well, apparently the Andy Ruiz negotiations are off because of money.
That's him out the way.
That's what I want to say. Because of they couldn't agree price for Andy Ruiz or something because of money. So that's just interesting to know.
Very interesting. Who's next? I wonder who's next, Flowz.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Didn't your cousin fight yesterday?
All right, cool. This is episode 142 of SZN Podcast. I don't have any cousins boxing, please, guys. Don't listen to Flowz. He's an idiot. Actually, thinking about it, because speaking of cousins, even though it's not relatable, I've just remembered your boy, Big David Adelaide.
Let's talk about this.
We got to talk about this still.
Yeah.
The Fraser Clarke, Fabio Wardley purse bids. The purse bids that didn't happen because essentially Flowz, the British. So Wardley's the British champion.
Yeah. And
they've ordered that he fights Fraser Clarke, and both parties, obviously David Heady Home was all guns blazing. Yes. Ben Shalom and Boxer were like, yep, cool. It's gone to purse bids now, and suddenly, literally like an hour or two before it was meant to happen, Ben Shalom has withdrawn from the purse bids. Boxers have pulled out, which means by default Fraser Clarke has pulled out. So obviously that's caused a big furor on social media. Flowz, you're shaking your head straight away. Big yikes. I mean, let's talk about the message that sends, first of all. I mean, that didn't come from Fraser Clarke. That's done by Ben Shalom. That's his decision. So what's that say about him and his confidence for his fighter? Boy, there's that.
It's crazy.
But also, it's a big time waste as well. Obviously, Hearns live it because it's like, you wasted everyone's time. We all geared up for it. This is like literally the 9th hour, the last hour, and then you decide to pull out. Crazy, Flowz.
Look, it's another damning indictment on the sport in terms of the fighters management promotions lobby the British Board of Control to have their fighters in line to fight for the British title.
Yeah.
So Ben Shalom was acting that. I don't know why the British Board of Control made this mandatory. Well, yes, you do, because Fraser Clarke's team would have requested it. They would have lobbied to the board that, make this fight happen.
Yeah.
The fact that the board even granted it was crazy because Fraser Clarke has had 6 fights.
6 fights, yeah.
So that was silly, but they made it happen. You were talking about making a huge offer to Fabio Wardley, saying you're giving him his highest payday.
Yep, which is also false, apparently. Yeah.
But it sounds like you wanted the fight.
That's the issue. They entertained it. That's my issue.
You were talking about, you said, you want to make it happen, let's do it. You made offers. It comes down to purse bids now, and it's several reasons. You don't fancy it. You really don't fancy it.
Let's be real, he doesn't fancy it.
You don't want to lose your fight to another promotion. You didn't fancy yourself in the purse bid either.
Yeah.
You didn't fancy him to do it and come back. And you didn't fancy yourself losing on the purse bid. So it's shocking. And the excuses such as, he's only had 6 rounders, he needs 10 rounders.
Yeah. It's too soon. Basically saying it's too soon. So well, my issue is, look, fair enough if you think all of this. But why do you go ahead and entertain it? Why were you talking about biggest offer to Fabio Wardley, blah, 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 if you truly in your heart of heart don't believe Fraser Clarke is ready for this opportunity? It's a horrible, damning indictment. And if I'm Fraser Clarke, I'm pissed. I'm sure they've had words because it's made him look bad. Because I'm now seeing fans get onto him and call him a duck, goose. When he didn't duck enough. This has got nothing to do with Fraser Clarke, by the way.
Yeah.
This is his team, his promotional team have decided to take the decision to take him out. I don't think he would have had any input in this. So it's made him look like a huge bozo.
Yeah, he's not been happy. I saw an interview with him and he said he can't speak. He says he wants to fight. Yeah, he hopes the fight happens. He's basically saying he's disappointed that he's not being backed. Yeah, but he's not being. Yeah, I mean, he's that sentiment is very, very valid. Flowz, 100% valid. So. Yeah, man, it's not good, man. It's not good at all. It's a mess because we could have got the David Adelaide fight with Fabio Wardley, but he's now lined up to fight another fight. And what makes it even worse for us is we saw they've announced a day straight away. They've already got a fight ready for Fraser Clarke. They announced it before the purse bid, didn't they?
Before the purse bid, yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
were.
yeah.
So Eddie Hearn was like, well, "What's this about? How do you get ordered to fight and then you've lined up another fight?" So that was already dodgy. But on the day of the purse bid, you pull it out.
That's crazy. Crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. To be honest, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if people were clamoring for this fight, as in for Clarke, Wardley, but I guess people will tune in. I guess these are two up and coming UK heavyweights, so yeah, would have been an interesting fight. I do think it's too soon, definitely for both of them. Really, I do think it's too soon, but it is what it is. I guess the up and coming UK heavyweight scene, it's weird because obviously you've got a lot of experienced cats and they've got a bunch of very inexperienced guys. So yeah, there's a bit of a jump, I guess, but it is what it is. I'm sure they will get it on at some point further down the line, but it just looks really bad on Ben Shalom and Boxer's part for sure. And Fraser Clarke has every right to be annoyed because it looks like they've made him look like a duck, basically.
He might cut out. he might. I don't know.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. Like it shows it's a total vote of no confidence in you, man. And you don't want that from your promoter. Your promoter is meant to be the one backing you to the hills. To the hills. So for that to happen, boy, Eddie Hearn was there. Obviously, he's laughing and he was ranting and raving as well. Big time waste for him. But yeah, it just shows that there's weakness in that camp. He knows it now. There's weakness there. And when they do come together, if they're still together, Clarke and Ben Shalom, that's an easy angle now to get at him. Like, does your team really back you? Does your promoter really love you? Hey, man, is what it is. But yeah, a bit of drama during the week to keep us entertained.
It's been peak for Boxer lately. It's a couple of stinkers in a row now.
Couple L's in a row still.
They're questioning Ben Shalom's credentials now.
Yeah.
When he questioned it. But it's peak.
Oh, man. Promoter beef is hilarious, by the way. It's so funny. The way they all send shots at each other on the sly in interviews is so funny. Well, I say on the sly. Hearn doesn't really hold back. He just sends shots regardless. But yeah, it's jokes, man. It's jokes. But look, man, if Boxer want to be great, I'm gonna end it with this, Flowz. If Boxer want to be great, they need to do one thing, bro. Bring back Adam Smith. That's it.
Yeah,
just bring him back. Bring him back. I don't know where he's gone, but bring it back.
I hope he's well. Shout out to Adam Smith, man.
Bro, that's the face. That's the UK voice of boxing. Bro. That's the voice. Without him, it's dead. It's dry.
That's a little Dirk right there, man.
Oh, it's episode 142 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I've been your host, Kam.
I'm your boy, Flowz.
And as always, guys, keep supporting, keep it locked. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.